What's up, guys? ALT Insider back at you here with another video all about Super Mario Maker 2 League. Season 3 is almost upon us, so I figured, hey, I got to make a video about this to get us going. As you can see, I'm loaded up with the tabs. After I talk about the changes in the league, I'll do a short introduction of all the players here because it's tough to, get information on everybody, but I got as much as I could here. So yeah, first let's get into the changes, right? So last season, it was a big debate all the time, right? If someone's favorite runner lost, it was usually because RNG, right? Because the players were doing different levels. It was who can get the most clears in 15 minutes in endless mode, and they're doing random levels, right? Skipping, there was unlimited skips. Now it's kind of the real strategy was knowing when to skip, right? As the season went along, players kind of learned that more skipping was always better. And it was, if there was any kind of resistance, it was better to skip than keep going. And yeah, that kind of how it turned out. But obviously, there's still, in every single YouTube comment was always, hey, this is RNG. Wow, my favorite player lost because RNG. Oh my God, I can't believe that happened. It's RNG, that kind of stuff. So to try to, and some of the runners felt the same way. So, obviously, if a lot of runners think that, you got to think about ways to change it. So that is what has happened. We are now doing a situation where people are doing the same levels. When I first heard it, I didn't like it because I was like, oh, there goes the skip, the beauty of this format we have, this magic we have where you can change your play style in terms of where are you in the race. In most speed running situations, there is a best route to do everything, right? And you watch two people do the best route to the best of their abilities. If someone makes a mistake and falls behind by a few seconds, there's nothing they can do except do the same route they are doing and hope they catch up and hope the other person makes a mistake. Well, we had this situation where it wasn't like that, Someone could get better levels than the other person. Someone could, be more aggressive with their skips at the end if they thought they had to catch up, blah, blah, blah. I'm done talking about the old format because that's in the past. Now, everyone's playing the same levels. As you can see here, you will be playing the same levels as your opponents. That's the key point here that people are waiting for. So what's going to happen is there's a liked list, blah, 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 doesn't matter. They're going to be playing the same levels, and they have a limit to their skips. And their skip is you can only skip 3 levels. So at first you might think, hey, that doesn't sound like a lot, right? A lot of people are just skipping 6 times, 7 times in the other format. Well, in this format, all the levels are random, so they still are just, are randomly chosen as levels to be on the list. However, they're less than a minute 30. So once they're less than a minute 30, they are possible to be on the list. There's still going to be some good levels, bad levels, blah, blah, but they'll all be under a minute 30. And the main reason levels got skipped last year was because they're too long, right? So world record was was 3 minutes, so you just get automatic skip, right? Those are all gone. So a main reason that levels get skipped is gone. So we have the players have 3 skips at their disposal. So I think that when I started learning more about the format, I kind of opened up to a little bit more. I said, okay, well, that will leave some skip strategy, right? Because you only have 3, and now it will be more of a factor of deciding, hey, this level is too. There'll never be a level that's too long per se, unless maybe it's a minute 30 on the nose, and you only have 30 seconds left. You might skip that one. Usually, levels will have to be skipped based on their merit of how you play them, how they appear to be. They appear to be trolly, that kind of stuff. So I'm excited to see how it shakes out, right? I can't just say now how it's going to work. I can say in the qualifier tournament, which was a little bit different, they had 5 skips each, but there was some scores were all over the place, 7, 8, 12 or something. So yeah, we'll see. I wonder, since players are playing the same levels, I wonder if we will see the top players coming on top more often than they did last year. That's one thing that comes to mind right away. Is that I think it's safe to say when a lower skilled player played a higher skilled player, they did have the chance to get a few more nicer levels than the other person to kind of keep the scores close or even pull an upset. Now that's not an option. They have to go through the same levels. So one thing I would say, if I was the coach of somebody, I would say you pretty much never want to end a race with a skip in your pocket, right? Because there always seems to be, there would be a chance to use it to find a better level. There could be cases when that's not true. If you just get a long streak of awesome ones, of course, you might have some skips in your back pocket. But you want to, in this setup we're working with now, your skips are your assets, right? So you got to use them to your advantage. And I definitely think, I'm interested to see how often do people get to that 3 skip mark, because hopefully it's a lot, because that would mean it's, that would mean they're using the skips correctly, right? Because if you have this tool of a skip to get to the next level, you should be using it. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, I have nothing to say about that, how it's going to turn out. our average clear is going to matter as much. I mean, they should, right? We'll see. I think when I was kind of thinking about this league, I was thinking about how it's going to be. I was thinking like maybe the margin of victory will be greater in this format because if, like I said, when a higher skill player plays a lower skill player, that the higher skill player theoretically should be able to clear more levels, and the other person might be stuck on a hard level and just get stuck there when they can't just boom skip through all three without thinking about it. But then I looked at numbers. I was like, let me see, and I saw the margin of victory of last year was about 2. And then I know it's a low sample size, but I looked at the qualifier tournament to see the margin of victory there with this new format. A little bit different, of course. They did 5 skips, and it was 2 there too. So I don't know. Maybe there's nothing there. Maybe there won't be larger margins of winning. I don't know. But I guess, again, we got to see when the league starts here tomorrow. So I guess I could talk more about that. I should talk about the overtime. So the overtime, not my dream way it's going to be handled, but it will be handled a different way than last time. So it will, instead of like having them keep going, okay, it's over, you're tied, keep going, and always cause confusion, there will be a full stop, and then they'll play the next level they haven't played on their list, right? So it could be the same level, usually it's going to be a different level, I'm sure. So they're not playing the same overtime level, but they are starting overtime at the same time, which I think is definitely an upgrade from what it used to be. I think it should, I wished we could have like an OT level bank of 5 or 6 OT levels every week, and like if a game goes overtime, you play this cool level, user created, that they get kind of hype about too. I wish that was the way it was, but you can't get everything you want in this world, guys, so that's how it goes. But yeah, we'll see how this one shakes out. It's going to be fun. It seems like it's been a while since we've been doing this stuff. I'm missing commentating, missing watching people play this game and seeing the chat excited about it too. So it'll be fun to get going. But yeah, that's all I can say. We love the people. I guess one more caveat. The league's going to be 11 weeks, right? So we have 11 weeks. And I'm wondering, how will this format be seen? How long will it take to say, hey, this format's much better than the old one? Or how long will it say, this one's not as good as the other one? Or this one's just the same as the other one? I think all 3 possibilities are possible. We'll see. My mind is not decided yet. I'm going to judge fairly on what I think the format was good or bad and all that stuff. So there you go. So let's get to a mini. There's 24 players, obviously, in Division A and Division B, so I can't say much about each, but I tried to get at least a sentence or 2 about everybody and brought up a video, which I don't know how it's going to add anything or not, but there you go. So here we go. First up on the list is Blue. The Blue, look at these tabs. The tabs are going crazy. Blue Chocobo in the house here. He was the 4th average highest clear last year in the whole league, so yeah, he's good. He got upset in the first round of the playoffs last year, so he's on fire. He is ready to roll. Ended up in 4th place last year. Blue Chocobo, someone to watch out for sure. Got to see 0 gameplay. I'll fast forward a little bit to show some of his awesome gameplay. There you go. Watching out for this. Look at it jump over the sun. This guy's incredible. Next up, we have Doomsday. Now, Doomsday here, he is the winner of the qualifier to get in here. This is a guy that he came in Discord during the last season, was talking, he had a lot of opinions about how things should be done and stuff. And it's like, cool, everyone has opinions, but you never know he's a player. And then we started watching him play. I was like, whoa, he's a good player too. And clearly he showed he's a good player because he won the qualifier, and it was pretty much a bop. I mean, he did not lose until the first match of the finals, I think, or something like that. So a great player, will be a force to be reckoned with for sure. Happy to have him aboard. Doomsday will be in the house. First round matchup against IPK, so we'll see the skills right away. Next up, Little Curve, 2nd place last year, lost to the Beast in the finals. Obviously, a great player. 3rd highest average clears last year. Again, will the highest average clears of last year, correlate to the average average clears this year? I don't know, but I'm still saying it because I think it's a good indicator of skill for total last year. So yeah, obviously great player. Watch this YouTube video if you haven't seen it before. Just insane. Next up is our first newcomer, Trans Shoujo. So that means something in Japanese. Trans virgin is one way to. I got to ask her if that's what it really means, because that's what it could mean. It could be other ways to translate shoujo, but yeah. So this newcomer here, not much I can see. Twitch player, plays a lot of viewer levels, beats hard levels a lot. We'll see what she can bring. I don't have much to say except she seems to be really good at playing this game, because I watched her beat a lot of difficult levels, as you can see here, like this one. Let's hopefully she does something hype right here. Come on, do something hype. Clear this level right now for glory. For glory, no. But really, I'm sure she did later, so awesome player. Next up is KoopaU. Now, this is another person that came to us from the qualifier. 4th place in the qualifier. My notes over here, that's why I'm looking up there. 4th place in the qualifier. Obviously, super expert levels all the time on his stream. He's good. He is good. I promise you he's good. We'll see what he brings to this tournament over the course of the season. Next up is the mighty Bismuth. Okay, so Bismuth is another returning player in the middle of the pack in terms of average clear last year, but he's one of the guys that really started out not as good as he finished, right? And he started finishing, and he kind of wrapped his head around the format a little bit more and finished out much better than he started. He is the one that pulled out that epic upset of Blue Chocobo in the first round of the playoffs last year, and the high five, if you just noticed. I hope you didn't miss that. He has the cheerleading. Oh, and the kiss strats. That's just overpowered Bismuth. He is going to bring that all season, so stay tuned for that. Bismuth in the house. Next up is the Fiend. Dragon Feeny finished about midway the pack in average clears last year. She drew IPK in the first round of the playoffs. That's one of the best matches of the playoffs, was when Feeny drew IPK in the first round of the playoffs. And yeah, obviously IPK is a big favorite. You know, he didn't lose much the whole season, lost one match the whole season, but IPK won. Dragon Feeny won the first game there. It was really cool, and she was on a roll. But then IPK turned in the best performance of the whole season we saw. So that was a great one. But she's a great runner, great player, great smile, everything. She's going crazy here. She's showing you the skills right now. So enjoy that Dragon Feeny. Good to have her back for sure. Next up is Marami. This is a new player here. Oh, excuse me, Dimitri. What am I doing? Looking at the other side. Dimitri's in the house here. This is someone, I could say a fun fact. When I interviewed IPK last year, I said, well, who do you think should be in this league next time? He said Dimitri, so take that for what it's worth. He was third place in the qualifier. Obviously, super expert levels all the time. No problem for this guy. Really good player. You know he's got the goods, for sure. Recommended by IPK. We'll see if that recommendation holds true or not. Next up is Shova. So, couldn't find much about her. Good player, obviously. I watched her play a few super expert levels. Also, she can play Super Mario World with one hand, I saw. That's pretty cool. So, there's that, too. So, interested to see what she did. I saw she did some Kaizo level also. I wish I brought the link of that. The cape was just incredible. But, yeah, so good player again. We'll see what she can bring to this thing. Next up is Mr. Mighty Mouse. He was a stand-in or replacement player for a while. He had a chance, I believe. Yeah, he did not qualify for the playoffs, but he only had like 4 weeks to do it, and he had to make a lot of ground and didn't quite do it. But, yeah, good player for sure. Always fun to watch. Mr. Mighty Mouse, happy to have him back in the fold for sure. Next up is IPK. This is that match I was talking about earlier when he just turned it on. Really, IPK Dragon Feeny won the first one, and then IPK just turned it on. Oh, great clip choice, LT. But yeah, IPK, obviously his qualifications abound. He had the top 4 versus accounts in the world at one point. Only lost one match until he got upset by Slade in the playoffs last year. He had the highest average clear from last year. I could go on here. He's obviously a force to be reckoned with, and we'll see what he can do. Can he keep the streak going here for sure? Because he's obviously one of the top players for sure. Next up, Division A, last player is Raise Fire, a newcomer here. Seems to be big in the YouTube world. Really popular YouTuber. And yeah, speedrunner for other Mario games I saw. He's playing super expert levels all the time. He's got the skills for sure. Let's see what he can bring in this season. So, Division A out of the way. Who knows how long that took? I don't know. Not too bad, actually. Division B, let's get to it. Next, we have up the Bucca, man. Bucca. I hope that's how I'm pronouncing it right. Big personality. His stream is pretty funny. Definitely a funny dude. As you can see now, he's got the strats going. The shock face strats going. We'll see what he can do. Clip that, please, people. As you can see, he's funny. So we will enjoy him all through the season. Next we have, oh, I'm skipping here. But next we have on my list this was Murphy, another qualifier. He was the second place finisher in the qualifier. His only loss was to Doomsday, the winner of the match in the finals. He's really got skills. He was fun to watch at the qualifier. I watched him. I commentated his match in the qualifier. He was really good. So this was Murphy. We'll see. I'm noticing now I do not have let's see. I do not have a tab for the Beast. I skipped over the Beast, but the Beast was the winner of the tournament last year, so you know he's good. I don't have to say anything else. The Beast, 721. He had second highest average clear last season. He's obviously, if you don't think he's one of the favorites to win this year again, something might not be right. He's a good player. Sorry there's no video. Check it out. He's all over the place. Next up is Marami. I hope I'm saying that right, too. He was 5th place in the qualifier, and he got in here. I saw, I don't have much information other than that. Watched him play a little bit. He's good. He made a level where you have to do 51 shell jumps in a row. He created the level and obviously cleared it because he created it. That was just crazy. So he has the skills, at least the technical skills, to wow us this season. We'll see if he can bring that to the game here. Next up is Enviosity. No face cam here, but another player that appears to be good. Rocking and rolling on the YouTube and the Twitchers and everything. Cool player. Can't wait to see what they bring. Next up is Panga, the man himself, the level creator extraordinaire. Last season, he was in the middle of the pack, about in the average clear side of things. Another player that kind of started off slower and then picked it up in terms of figuring out the format. We'll see what he can do. He was knocked out in the first round of the playoffs last year. Obviously, one of the most famous Mario Maker players in the world. We'll see what he can bring this season for sure. Next up is Failstream coming back into the fold. He was in the top third of average clears last year. He was knocked down the first round as well. And but yeah, he was always fun. Always, I know he had a few awesome matches. He was always every match was close with him. He could beat anybody. He's a good player for sure. Next up is Oshi Kurosa, the guy I coined the XFactor last season because he came out of nowhere as a replacement player, and he showed he had the goods from the first week he played. That was a really cool second half of the season story there. Last season was really cool to see how, new guy, how's it going to go? He was just awesome. So we'll see what he brings. He was in top 6 in terms of average clears as well. And like I said, he started at the very end of the season. So he didn't have this kind of build up, figuring out how it goes. He just was awesome from the start. So excited to see how he can do it. He got to the semifinals last season. Can he get farther? I wouldn't put it past him for sure. Next up is Foxen in the house here. Also a returning player. He was bopped in the first round of playoffs. He was in the top third of average clears, though, for the regular season. Word is still out. Will he bring back his famous coach? We don't know, but we're going to stay tuned and find out. We'll find out together. But yeah, Foxen is great. He's a good player, obviously. Top third in average clears. Great player. Chance to win for sure. Everybody has a chance to win, though. What am I saying? Next up, returning player Dansta in the house here. He's a returning player. He was beat in the first round of the playoffs. He's one of the guys I like watching because he shows he cares. I mean, not everyone cares about winning, I know, but he shows it. When he's doing good, he's showing it. When he's doing bad, he shows it. So I love his webcam. He's one of the best webcams in the season for sure. Dansta, dude is insane. He also like runs Super Mario Odyssey like at the level where he can be in the tournament. So he's insane. Dansta's the man. Next up is the man known as Mikey. Newcomer to the fold. He's pumped to be in this league, I know. I watched him play for 30 minutes or so. He's good. What can I say? He's playing super expert levels. Cleared him like crazy. He's a great player for sure. And I'm noticing I did miss one person, Erik Van Wilderman. So we're going to go together with... we'll do this together because for some reason I skipped over them. And let's go to fan-made levels. Look at all these interesting things that come up, though. But let's do that. He's got the surprise face thumbnail game going strong. This is Geometry Dash, so not exactly what we're looking for. He seems to be great at Geometry Dash, though. So this is probably comparable. I don't know. We'll see. But I thought it was user-created levels. I assumed it was Mario Maker. But hey, Geometry Dash also has fan-made levels. So there you go, guys. But Erik Van Wilderman seems to be a huge YouTube personality that I'm sure will do great in this league because he has these awesome Geometry Dash skills. So there you go, guys. That is the 24 competitors here for the league as we watch Erik Van Wilderman here kicking it here. But yeah, so matches start tomorrow. That's why I had to get this video out now. But yeah, excited to see. I'll be commentating the whole season, of course. So stay tuned there. Stay hype. And yeah, let me know what you think of my predictions, everything, blah, blah, blah. See ya. Stay hype.